Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life Fly Fishing, and today let's talk about another episode of Breaking Rules, and this time we'll talk about dead drifting streamers. Now, streamers are minnow imitations or lures, and they're designed to be moved. Whether you swing them in current or you strip them, you can strip them in lakes or swing them and strip them in rivers. The intent is you move them for them to look lifelike. And if they don't get moved, they often look like nothing. Right? There's no reason why a fish would take them. However, there are some that are quite lifelike. For example, my brown trout Weimer pattern. And it is quite good at still looking like a minnow when it's not being stripped. There's others out there too. If the thing looks like a minnow while it's sitting in the store, there's a good chance it'll look like a minnow when it's not moving in the water. And now I want to think about the fact that in a river you've got a large school of baitfish, for example, and they'll be attacked by bass or trout, and some of those will be injured and they'll drift downstream. Some of them will be sick or die of natural causes. They'll just drift downstream, and fish will pick them up. Fish will eat them. My first time that I ran across this, where I really thought about it, was one fall when I'm fishing for steelhead. I was fishing my brown trout Weimer on the end of a full sink shooting head because we were dealing with a high water situation. I mean, the flow rates were really up. And the shooting head I was using was a slow sinker. So I have to cast it a bit upstream and keep on light tension on it and so allow it to sink, and then I'd swing it out once it got downstream far enough that it would have sunk far enough. Works fine. I made a cast and I got a tangle in my running line. So instead of keeping light tension, I had no tension. This thing was just drifting, slowly sinking in the current while I'm pulling out the tangle. So I got the tangle out, I brought it under tension, and there was weight. And I'm going, what's that? And all of a sudden the thing took off, and it turned out to be about a 5-pound black buffalo sucker that had drawn in my streamer, my brown trout Weimer, that was just simply dead drifting down with the current. And when I thought about that afterwards, I've had other situations where this has happened as well. I had a carp that took a streamer on the drop. I cast out, I was counting it down, and as soon as I brought it under tension, the carp was there. And it had picked it up as it was dropping. Happens with smallmouth all the time, that they pick up the streamer on the drop. So the idea here is that we don't always have to move streamers, especially if there's reasonably realistic looking streamers. You can dead drift them as well. So you could actually, if you're working with a run, especially if you think there may be fish stacked up in there and you can't get them to move to your fly when you're stripping it, get above them, dead drift the fly down to them. See if they'll take it just rolling along in the current. They might. It might be just a different presentation. When you can't get them to move to a fly that is being swung or stripped, try to get them to move to it when it's dead drifting. You never know. It just might be the ticket. Cheers.